February 27th. Act as such, please.
There's only 28 days in February. People forget that.
The worst. I forgot that.
It's the worst month of the year.
Why is that?
Or it's the best
Because it's
month.
Black History Month?
Wow.
Is that what you're trying to say?
At Evan Foxy just got called out by at Nick Moraldo.
Wow, Nick. No, it's the worst month because
Kind of
It's just-
fucked up that Black History Month is on a
'cause
28-day month.
Because it's my birthday month? Is that why?
oh shoot,
Is it
You want
because
to double down here some more? What else you got?
it's my mom's birthday month too.
This kid.
Valentine's Day, which is the day of love.
But it's just boring. There's not much like okay, football ends.
Boring. We just listed off 4 of the holidays.
It's on mom's birthday.
President's Day?
Mom's
Are you kidding me, Evan? President's Day.
It's cold. It's depressing. Everyone wants to get out of it because winter is shitty. And then March is the greatest. You get to March, everyone's happy. The sun's out like today. The sun's back out. Everyone's in a good mood.
In like a lion, out like a lamb. That's what they say about
This
March.
is very selfish of you. You know, it's not cold everywhere in this world in February. Some places it's quite warm, actually.
Every world I'm in, it's cold.
Me too.
Yeah, I
Imagine
don't live in
being,
those warm places.
Yeah.
Imagine being born on Leap Day. How much that sucks.
It's a kick in the dick.
You celebrate
Because it's your birthday, but not really. It was yesterday, kind of, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
No, you're right. February sucks. I can't wait for this to be over.
It's a bad month. It is a bad month.
We got through it though.
We did, didn't we? And Rough and Rowdy was in there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good month.
For us, it was. I don't think for everyone. It used to be bad for me. But now I have a cool job.
Why was it? Why was it used to?
Because at school, you had to walk a long way and it was freezing out. And it's just an extra month that you're dragging winter along.
Hey, in Michigan State, you got to watch where you're walking too. Bad shit can happen.
Yeah. Stay woke.
I didn't know that Joe Paterno movie looks insane. By the way,
Looks so good.
with the Pacino character.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
That looks like an intense one. That looks like one that's going to ruffle some feathers. That looks like one that could potentially cause some marching, some riots, some protests on the internet and in real life, I think.
Can his family sue?
They've tried.
I assume they will.
tried?
Yeah.
I mean, they try and sue everyone. They've been trying to clear his name for a while now. It's,
You know, they're Italian.
I thought they would win.
I was wondering where Penn State falls into this too. Like, how do they get the rights to allow them to use all the Penn State stuff as well?
Did they use any of the Penn State stuff?
I don't know. I'm just assuming they will.
That's like whenever Concussion got the NFL stuff and it was like shooting Heinz Field and stuff. I'm like, man, how much did they have to pay for those rights?
Right.
You're right. You're 100% right. Who
Well,
knows?
It didn't look like they were filming in Happy Valley, though. I doubt they let them do that.
What's that?
Like,
Film in Penn
yeah,
State?
Yeah, there's no way they were like actually filming at Penn State, I doubt.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, OJ would still have the record. Did you see that? Did you see Broward County Sheriff say that on national TV to Jake Tapper?
He said that about OJ?
They said, if you could go back, would you have told your deputies to act differently or whatever? And he responded with, well, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, OJ would still have the record.
I mean, I respect the cliche game there going
This is
into
about
the
a-
little nursery rhyme.
This
but yeah.
is about a school shooting, this dude. As Jake Tapper said, we're talking about a mass murdering here and like almost like reminded him. And then obviously everybody called for that guy's head.
So they weren't even talking about OJ.
No, he brought it up. Hold on.
He doubled down with an OJ Simpson rep.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, O.J. Simpson would still be in the record books.
I don't know what that means. I don't know. People, and there's a whole long list of things your department could have done differently.
I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna be honest, that guy sounded very Italian. I'm not proud of it.
His hair is very slicked back, and he's got a pretty nice looking spray tan, but he's from Florida, so you got to respect it. If you could go back and change it, would you, or whatever? This is a school shooting, this dumbass.
Hey, listen, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, O.J. Simpson would still be in the record books.
I don't know what that means. There's
I don't know
17
what.
dead people, and there's a whole long list of things your department could have done differently.
My God. Self-awareness, zero.
Zero.
How do you even... That guy gets paid to represent that. Like, he was the one that they were like, this guy's the guy we should put on TV. This is the guy. Terrible situation, obviously. But what a fucking response. If you're one of the parents of the victims, you got to just be like, these motherfuckers are getting paid by our taxes? This fucking guy right here? They got to be pissed off. Zero self-awareness. What do you got, Zito?
Can you imagine the second person that was supposed to go up on stage for that? What he had planned up. That was the better choice.
They chose the ifs and buts O.J. Simpson guy over somebody else to speak at that press conference. That guy had to be the worst.
Impressive that he rattled it off that quick, too. Like, he didn't even have to think about it.
That was a prepared statement.
Yeah.
That was a prepared statement. He went in there with that one loaded. Just like Frank Reich had the backup role has suited me well.
For sure.
That was a locked and loaded quote. I'm happy I could give that to him. You know, I'm happy I could have, which he taught me, dealing cards. Handing off, by the way. Frank Reich taught me. One of the first classes we had. He was like, trying to relate to me on like how my handoff needs to be and play action. I had a great play action, by the way. Yeah. Frank Reich taught me a good play action. And he was like, let me see how I can relate to this motherfucker. That's what he was like. And he's like, okay, cards. You ever play cards? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, good. Should have known you were a gambler. This is what we're going to do. You're going to deal cards. It's like you're dealing. I said, I deal righty, though. So, like, the left one might be tough. He's like, well, maybe tonight you deal left-handed so we can get a better play action fake if we have to throw the ball deep at. And I was like, you know what, Frank? Probably right. Going to do that tonight. Just start dealing rummy left-handed to everybody I knew. But it was a real coaching moment between he and I. And that's why when I mentioned it to him, like he even said in the thing, he was like, just like I taught you the playing cards, because it was a real moment between he and I where he was
cute.
Yeah, it was because I mocked him for judging me for being a gambler, obviously. Right. And then we had a real situation. It was really cool. I thought he would have remembered it, but it was a cool moment. And I just, the fact that he got to get off the line, that they definitely prepared, which won the press conference, the backup role has suited me well. The fact that I could potentially give that to him, I am very excited about. I'm very excited about that. Good for me.
Good for him, too. He handled that very well.
That's why I think he's going to be a good coach.
Yeah, I do, too.
We talked to Mike Florio later, and Jerry Thornton's calling me right now. Hey.
Yeah, how you doing, Phil?
Hey, I'm on the show. How are you?
Oh, good. Okay, no, don't want to interrupt. I just had to show you this.
What is that right there, boss?
My kid's acceptance letter to West Virginia.
Oh.
Jerry, everybody gets accepted to West Virginia.
Apparently you never saw a Thornton kid's grade. Community college. Yeah, this is a huge upset. Like, this is, honest to God, this is the USA curling team winning gold. So.
Well, tell him congratulations, all right?
Okay, all right, man. I'm going to need advice. He's going to need advice. How are the women? First question.
Listen, he's going to learn a lot very quickly down there. And if his grades were bad in high school, I'm assuming the grades are going to be much worse now.
Right.
But it'll be good.
All right. Hey, I miss you. Have a great show. And let me know what I should tell this kid, but I appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate you, Jerry.
All right. Hey, say hi to the Heartland fellas.
You got it, Jerry. See you. Jerry Thornton, just a sweet old man. Just a sweet old man. There's no way my kid's going to West Virginia.
Where would you like your future child to attend
I don't want him to go to school.
university?
I don't want him to go to school. I want him to go make money. I want him to figure out something that he can make money at while he's in high school, hopefully.
What if he comes to you and says, Dad, listen, I would really value my education. I would love to go get a degree.
Kid will never get to that point. I think parenting helps out a lot in that thought, and I don't think my kid will ever get to that thought just because Sam and I have very similar feelings about college and how big of a waste.
Or if he's very intelligent, like he wants to become a doctor.
University of Michigan, you were all in on at one point.
Yeah, in my head, I thought while he was asking that question was Michigan for sure. I want my kid to go to Michigan because everybody's billionaires up there. It feels like everybody up there is a billionaire.
If he's anything like you, though, he would not have a good time at University of Michigan.
Yeah, and I am not going to have a good time raising him.
Yeah.
If he's anything like I am going to fucking hate him.
I like that we're assuming it's a him.
That's why I said future child.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you guys just
that might have
automatically
been on
assume.
me.
That's on the dude too. That's on me to figure out, right? Like I don't know science enough, but I think that's on the guy.
Yeah, so I always say I have 3 other brothers, so it runs in the blood, so I'll definitely have sons when I'm older.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's anywhere near accurate.
I have 3 brothers. My oldest brother has 2 daughters.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. I don't think what you said there, Evan, was anywhere near accurate.
In my head it is, though.
That was a Diggs false fact, which has been suspended from today's show. He and Sean got into a little tiff on air. A very off-the-air conversation should have happened on the air. And I was like, that is not what I do not want our listeners to deal with any other more bullshit. Tom Griswold told me, the world has enough shit, Pat. Just make them laugh. And it's such a deep statement that he made just as a hilarious thing one morning to me. And it's real. Like our show, we just want people to have a good fucking time when you listen. They don't want to deal about personal bullshit. Yeah. That doesn't mean anything, by the way.
You want to peek behind the curtain. We argue all the time in breaks.
No, I don't think we do.
Well, not all the time, but like it happens.
I think
There are certain things said that some people don't agree with all the time.
there are some things said that I don't know are said by people, and then all of a sudden I hear about it later. Like, hey, did you hear blah 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 said blah blah blah? And I'm like, who the that happened? Yeah. Oh, was I there? No. Okay. Because if I'm just not paying attention, that's happening right in front of me. I'm in a bad spot. But I mean, yeah, I just think our show's supposed to be a good time. Ain't no time for no bullshit, Zito.
I'm going to take the blame on that. Director Morales should have jumped in.
That is 100% your job.
Yes, I apologize.
Wow. Thanks for doing that, all of a
Yeah.
sudden. And we gave him more airtime for messing up. What type of operation we running?
I thought it was a teaching moment. I thought that's the whole thing was.
Yeah, bring you in here?
Yeah.
You think I was bringing you here to tell you, hey, earlier? Like, that's your job.
Yeah.
Director of morale, that is your job.
I'm waiting for you to say, get the fuck out of here now.
I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about that until right now. That is somewhere where you probably could have stepped up.
I was cringing inside when I saw it happen.
It's just not fun when anybody starts bitching at each other. It's just not fun for anybody. Like, hey, let's get this over with quickly.
Especially that early in the morning.
Yeah, man. It's like, hey, we're all just waking up now. We had a good week. I went to the movies this week. I had a good weekend. I had to fucking deal with a lot of shit at that movie theater, which
What'd you go see?
game night. Thanks for asking. Jason Bateman.
Biggest movie on the planet is open. It's out there. Just everyone's talking about it, how awesome it is. It's
Well-
greatest movie. You got to go see it.
Yeah.
And you went to go see Game Night with Jason Bateman.
To my lady,
Not that I don't love Jason Bateman.
Black Panther was sold out though. So to my credit, we couldn't have even went because I guess Sam did look into that. Sam wanted to go on a little day date on the weekend, little day date, which was very nice. I enjoyed it a lot, by the way. I feel like it's day drinking, but for couples.
Did you drink?
No, we did vitamins, heavy doses. But we had a little day date, went to a brunch, went to a movie, went shopping, went home. I mean, we had a good little day. Almost crashed a couple times in potholes around Indianapolis, which is like the moon right now if you're driving on it. Little Mars situation. We're in a bad spot with these potholes. But yeah, I went and saw Game Night. In the movie theater situation, I think there's just a cult of people that just go like a movie theater club almost that happens to go at the same time we went to the same movie theater we went to. Everybody in the theater seemed to know each other, had assigned seats, and we fucked it all up. And here's the whole story. There's some cheap-ass looking movies coming out. Going to the movie theater, by the way. I'm a big movie guy.
Big movie guy.
More surprising than you go to the movie theater was I thought for sure Black Panther was
Yes.
coming out.
I was like, okay, all right, Pat, here we go. Going to see a good movie, Black Panther.
Well, I've heard Black Panther is incredible. I'm saving it for my house whenever I can be fully gone.
Right.
You know, because when you go in public, you have to act right just a little bit. I feel like I want to be gone a little bit. You know what I mean? I want to be vitamined out of my mind.
Yeah.
Because I've heard the music, the soundtrack. Thank you, Gonzo. Gonzo, good little dinger there from at the Mighty Beast. But I've heard the soundtrack for Black Panther is incredible. Game Night, though, is my lady's, right? My lady wanted to do it. We went on a little day date, a little matinee.
Wow.
Actually, I don't know if it's a matinee. What is a matinee?
Was it
During the
4 or
day.
5 o'clock?
It was at noon.
Yeah,
Yep.
matinee.
So we get some brunch, and then we go watch this movie. Okay. Theater's about a third full. Third full or so. I like to sit on the aisle where the stairs are.
Okay.
Because I got to pee.
Yeah.
So I need to get out and pee. And I think that one was 120 maybe, 120 minutes. I think it was a 2-hour. I needed to stare. I always do though. So I'm sitting on the aisle, about a third full, and I'm second row up. There's nobody in the entire front row. I'm second row up. They have plastic on the back of the chairs now. Like meant for people to put their feet up. I have to put my feet up anyways because they're large and it's a tight little space no matter where it is, right? So I put my feet up on the thing. I'm going to get comfortable. I mean, I put my feet up on my own desk. So people are like, would you do that at home?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I would, by the way. So get off my fucking dick. How about that? So I'm sitting there. There's nobody sitting in the front row. Nobody. These two old fucking women, old, chatty, coming in. Movie already started. They must be regulars, though. Old Hank escorted them in like a fucking employee. They sit in the 2 seats directly in front of us. The entire front row is wide open. My feet are up on the thing. Movie has already begun. They just sit down. I'm like, what the fuck I literally just said, what the fuck just happened?
You got punked.
Punked. So now what do we have to do? We have to move in. We have to move in 2 seats because of the whole fucking thing. Guess what happened? Solo sits at the fucking end, the end of the seat. So all of a sudden, because these 2 old ladies that showed up late Go ahead and plop down in front of me. We have to move over to be polite. We have to be polite. And I go at least one seat over from them. So I'm at like 4 and 5 as opposed to just 3 because I don't want my feet to be in this old lady who I hate. I hate this old lady. I don't care how old you are. I hate you. I sit there. I do my thing. All of a sudden, about 10 minutes into the movie, solo guy shows up, 455 pounds, super large popcorn, 2 drinks down on his thing, and the Reese's Pieces box sits at the end of my row. So now I'm fucking locked in. I gotta like dive over, guys. American Ninja Warrior for me to go piss. I pissed 3 times during that movie. Me and that guy touched a lot. I did the old do-si-do. I did the ass. I did the ass thing up and over top of him the one time. I'm sorry, sir. Next time I go dick to him because it has to be easier this way. I put my hand over the dude's shoulder on his seat. This guy was a large man.
You give him a lap dance.
Yeah, I am at this
That's
point.
a full lap dance.
I'm at this point deserving of a tip. I'm fucking over him. Bang, kick his Reese's Pieces box all onto the stairs. It was a nightmare of an experience. I don't know how anybody goes to the movie. I was not happy with those old ladies. I was not happy with those old ladies at all.
I could imagine.
I mean, just think we're having a little day date, eating a little popcorn, having a little moment.
You think they're on their podcast right now just talking shit about you?
The movie theater, I bet you they do have a podcast. This meathead and his lady friend were sitting in Ted's seats and had their feet up on the thing. That's what they're saying. I ain't never been a part of that. I don't think we'll go back to the movies for a long time.
Ty, you used to work in a movie theater. What's some of the awkward, weird shit you saw go down?
I mean, like a lot of that kind of stuff. There'd be like certain guys who would come, like go to movies by themselves when it was really packed, go into a movie that they definitely shouldn't have been seeing like on their own. Like you'd see like every once in a while like older creepy dudes going to like kids movies and it's just, like,
Vibert does that. He's mentioned that.
Yikes. Outside of that, I mean, people just suck. Like, you know, like
There's a lot of singles in that crowd.
Yeah.
A lot of singles in that crowd. Just
just
chomping down this one guy back over my left shoulder here, now that I'm thinking about it. Just cleaning up on this fucking nachos. Just clean barn animal. Full barn animal over my left shoulder. That situation. The movie was good though.
That should almost be punishable by death in a movie theater. If someone's doing that, yeah.
What's the technique on that though? You just gotta eat soft, or I don't even know how. Like for
yeah,
the crunch?
Zito, I know you're a loud eater. Yeah, your mouth makes an announcement every time it's chewing something. It is a next level for you.
I've been eating the back closet recently just because.
Ty, what was that story about 50 Shades?
Yeah, I went in. It was on Valentine's Day, and I mean, I'm assuming it was a girl. I walked in, and there was a massive cucumber with a condom over it. So I'm assuming she was like diddling herself during the movie.
Where it just left on the floor, like
Yeah.
people eat their popcorn. This little girl just left a cucumber.
Yeah, there was just a massive cucumber with a condom around
because she was worried the cucumber had a disease.
I don't know.
Why did she put a condom on
You
it?
don't want it. You don't want it to break.
Yeah,
You don't want it to break off.
I think the cucumber probably had some bumps on it or something.
So, like
that.
when that peacock feather got raised,
There was
she was just going,
going to town.
Cucumber climax.
Yeah.
Time.
There was a rumor in high school some girl did that with a hot dog and it broke apart inside of her.
What?
Had to have it removed in the ER.
I didn't hear that rumor.
Yeah.
I don't want to know who it was.
I'm not gonna.
And I don't want to hear the full rumor.
Well, you heard. I mean, that's the full rumor. That's it.
It got stuck.
Yeah.
It's not good. What is the doctor
uncooked
say?
hot dogs. It's kind of flimsy. It's not the sturdiest.
I was gonna say, what are you doing?
How do we? I can't. How they had so like pulling a hot dog off a grill? They had to do that. Like, how's the doctor fix the situation?
I'd imagine something like that. Maybe they cut her open. I don't know. I didn't get into the details. That's
sad. Now, granted, if that was how like men had to masturbate, I assume whenever I was younger, I would have done some very dumb stuff. I assume. Like, I feel like men got real lucky in the whole situation. Just the whole situation in general.
I concur.
You know?
We made out on the deal.
Yeah. I thought you just said we like.
That's what I thought.
Because it was close after I talked about, and then he was talking about men over women when it comes to the things we have to deal with. You heard that?
Yeah, I thought he said he made out with her.
Yeah, the deliver.
You kissed her?
I said we made out on the deal.
Yeah, but you had to
As
delay.
in men.
You made out with the hot dog after.
No, he's talking about.
I'm not saying I wouldn't have.
I think
what I'm saying is we made out on the deal as men having penises.
So wait, so you would have? So now we got a whole nother question because it was your delay in between the we made out.
How come Pat only heard this rumor or you didn't hear this rumor?
Thank you. That's a great question over there, Foxy. But we still need to talk about were you talking about us making out or
No.
You were talking about the deal.
No,
right?
I mean, we shared that ice cream that one time. But like,
Who?
You and I. We had 2 spoons.
That's not a bad thing.
2 spoons, 1 bowl.
It was a big bowl. Do you remember how big that bowl was?
It was a big bowl.
Big bowl. I mean, how could we have done that alone? Couldn't have.
It'd be rude.
Buddy stuff.
Did you draw a line down the ice cream?
Yeah.
So you couldn't pass that? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good move.
it was like the Europe did with their countries. Like kind of very stubborn. I got an extra chip or two. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It was a little bit of I got a Utah corner in the lower. Everybody knows a couple of things about me, Zito. Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't that right, Nick? Couple things.
Couple things, yeah. Just a few.
You know that one thing everybody knows? They say, what do they always say, Ty? They say about me?
That they know a couple things about you.
Yeah, they always say that.
Yeah, that thing with the hot dog.
Nope, people don't say that thing, I don't think. Was this story about me?
People don't
Wow,
forget.
I feel like I just learned a lot about me. I didn't know a lot of people were telling that story about me. That changes. It makes a lot of sense, though. No.
People don't forget.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. That's not one of the things. There's a couple things people say. But the one thing most people say is that I strongly recommend ShipStation. When you're selling online, getting your orders out the door quickly can be tough. That's why you need ShipStation.com. It's the fast and easy way to manage and ship your orders all from one place. Fulfillment is a very difficult part of the entire process of running a business online. ShipStation will take care of all of that. ShipStation helps you get orders out quickly and keeps customers happy. Whether you're using Shopify, Squarespace, Etsy, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, or over 75 other popular selling channels, ShipStation brings all your orders into one simple interface, making them really easy to manage from any device, even from your cellular phone. Wow. Then use ShipStation to create shipping labels for all the top carriers, including UPS, FedEx, USPS. Wow. This is a really big deal, actually. I should have read beforehand about this, but this seems to be a very good idea because this is the pain in the ass part of the business that nobody thinks about whenever they're in the middle of said business starting up. And this is a company that just wants to take all of that out of your life. With ShipStation, you'll ship more in less time with the best rates available. No wonder ShipStation is the #1 choice of online sellers. Right now, try ShipStation for free for 30 days and get an additional month free only if you use my promo code MCAFEE, McAfee. Don't wait. Go to ShipStation.com, ShipStation.com. Before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in McAfee. That's ShipStation.com. Tap on the microphone, enter McAfee. ShipStation, making shipping easy. Nope, that's not their tagline. ShipStation. Make ship happen. That's better.
Wow.
That's a lot better one than
Well
I had.
done.
Yeah.
I like that.
Make ship happen. Good for ShipStation because those logistics and fulfillment of orders is something that is a real problem because you don't think about it. That's a whole job in itself. ShipStation.com taking care of that. You go to the microphone, use the word McAfee, and you'll be off and running. Man, I'll tell you what. Good for ShipStation, huh?
Genius.
Genius company. This is like whenever movers started. This is when movers started. This is the comparable thing for business owners to homeowners. Because imagine moving without movers. I'm sure a lot of you have done it recently.
It's not fun.
I haven't had to do it in a long time. Very thankful. That is money that is well spent.
Like
Movers.
8 times in the past 10 years, yeah.
It is the worst. Moving is the worst because it's an emotional game. It's a physical game. It's a time tasking game. It's everything because you got to ask yourself whether or not what you're picking up is worth the effort it's about to be.
You're so right.
So now you got to go through an entire memory lane of this motherfucker and if you really need it or not. So now you're just thinking and now the worst part hasn't even come yet. Now you have to pick that motherfucker up, carry it awkwardly into spaces that aren't meant for moving, doors that you have to back up, go forward, back up, go forward. Oh, fuck, we didn't do geometry well enough. Take it all the way back out, lift it. All the while, corners are pressing on your fingers. It's just a nightmare of a situation. Step and repeat with everything in your house. It's a nightmare. Movers came in and said, hey, you know what? Those terrible jobs, we got them. Okay? We have no emotional attachment to any of this shit. We just want to get it the fuck out of here. That's all we want to do for you. My dad was one for a long time. Terrible job. Have no idea how he did it. ShipStation is doing that for business people. Like all the bullshit that you don't want to think about or don't want to do, let ShipStation.com take care of it. That was a pretty good little ad read for them.
It was.
I think it's real too, though. Because just thinking about starting this business when we were selling stuff, like getting it to people before we had Welker, man, when I had shirts for America.com, company that was founded.
Well, yeah, you've had some run-ins with logistics before.
The little things, I hate them. I hate all the little things, but it's the little things that matter. If you get the little things right, big things take care of themselves. Okay, these are all cliches that have just been thrown at me for so long. But you don't think about the little things. They don't show up until they show up. That's all. That's another one. These things don't show up until they show up.
P.S. Cliches are good to use too, as long as you say, "I know it's cliche," but beforehand, and then you can say it, and then people take you more seriously.
It's like, with all due respect, and I mean, with all due respect, that ain't worth a velvet painting of a whale, and a seal getting it on, or is it a dolphin?
Dolphin.
What a line! And I mean, with all due respect. It is true. That is really how it's treated. I mean, with all due respect, you were terrible. Like, that is something that has been said, like, very common. Like, hey, like, you and I should both be under this understanding here that you were completely wrong. With
Just
all due
because you said "with all due respect" doesn't mean you get to say whatever you want.
Geneva Convention.
It sure as hell does.
Geneva Convention.
That's like when people say, like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And they're that guy.
Yeah, you're about to be. You're about to be. We know. But I respect the move.
My favorite is having said that, and then you double down.
A loss. Right? Isn't that kind of the same thing? A loss. You know what that word is, Zito?
I do not. Would you like to explain?
Well, I mean, I use these big words sometimes. They're kind of small in stature, but big in meaning. You know what I mean?
I like the way you pronounce it. I would have said "alas."
I think it's a loss. I don't know how I pronounced it. Alas. Alas.
You said "a loss."
Well, that's what you did. You put that in my brain. Don't put that in my brain. Let me pronounce it how I want to pronounce it, man. Alas.
Yeah, there you go.
Respect. I like what we're doing there. It's a good word. It's a really good word.
Very versatile.
Yeah, it means like, with that being said. Right, doesn't it?
I don't know.
A lot, or like last, alas. I don't know. It's like lastly almost.
Yeah, like, alas, we arrived at our destination.
Yes.
An expression of grief, pity, or concern.
That's not right.
I don't think that's. I don't think are we talking
Telling
about
me the dictionary's wrong, boys?
I think the dictionary might be a little bit out of touch with how we're using this word. You know, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right.
I think I've seen it. I feel like I've seen it used this way. Like, with having said that, I believe that it's.
I mean, yeah, you can
might
if
be
you're
wrong.
expressing grief or concern.
Are there other? So yeah,
Yeah.
those are things we're about to say. Yeah, exactly what we just said. With having said that, it's this. I mean, we teach people a lot on this show.
So much.
You know,
So much.
the guy tweeting about the show not being factually accurate is one of my favorite things. Serious show, we're getting a lot of new listeners. People that have never listened to us, have no idea who I am. Literally have no clue that I was a punter in the NFL. They're from Canada, driving around in a car. They have Sirius in their car, and they're just listening to this talk show about nonsense. Nonsense. And people are like, I think they're enjoying it, having a good time. And then we say something that they know is not right. And they're like, what? Is everything a lie? It's the facts. We don't always get the facts right, but you get the point, right? That's kind of I really enjoy that mantra. It's the official statement from the show.
And I think if you don't get the point, maybe you're just not for us.
Yeah, we're not for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah, listen, I'm not for everybody. I remember, Reggie Wayne taught me that. I told you guys that. Reggie Wayne taught me that I am not for everybody. Because boy, I was on a hot streak there. Everybody I seemed to meet liked me. It was a long time. Before meeting me, hated me, for sure. After meeting me, though, we had a good run. People getting along with me, right? I mean, I got along with Dallas Clark. I was friends with these. I had money for the first time. I was a super happy person. It was, no stress. Here we go. Let's keep it moving. Everybody seemed to like me except for one guy. And I was like, you know what? I guess I'm just not for everybody, man. You just can't win them all. Got to just keep it moving. And that's okay, because people realize now that if they're not for somebody, they want it to end. Like, I'm not for everybody. I want that show to stop. Like, just who gives a fuck? Just keep it moving. There's so many other things to listen to. So many other things to listen to. Yeah, so stop fucking listening to us. There's so many options right now. You could be listening to anything else if you think about that. Don't. I mean, it's kind of our company.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, with all due respect.
Yeah, I need you guys.
We do need you. Like, download the show, listen to the show, but just don't take anything in. Just like, have it be like, what's that called? White noise in the background.
Right.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Having said that, drop a review about how much you enjoy it.
Yeah. Or maybe like be a real William Shakespeare down there in the comment section about how you've enjoyed things that we have said. And make sure when the people read it, they think it's very sophisticated sounding. You know, like we are a very sophisticated group here. I think that's because some people only read comment sections of shows, and that's how they literally go with it. I heard somebody talking about our show on the local sports radio. Somebody tweeted it in. They took a video of the thing. Boy, you should hear what they're saying about us if they don't listen to us.
What are they saying?
Well, basically, I mean, I don't want to say they say we're all idiots, but this one guy thought we were pretty dumb set of humans. And I think they just listened to Diggs one time. And Diggs just gave out a false fact real quick. But, I mean, that's how it goes. Big Cat and PFT are going to be out here this week. Those brains are incredible.
Can't wait.
Those brains are so good. PFT's brain and Big Cat's brains are so elite. I mean, it is just a hilarious situation. The fact that ESPN fired them is so mind-blowing and eye-opening. I understand some terrible things were said a long time ago that weren't Big Cat or PFT. But, man, those brains, if you just let them sit and go to work on some shit, it's very fucking hilarious. PFT is just, he's next level. Spells words wrong on purpose. Like the commitment to that, because every word is trying to be spelled right with autocorrect. Like it's harder to spell words wrong now.
Oh man, it's one of my favorite things in the world when he goes on to someone else's like real show, you know, and it's real straight talk, and he does his thing, and then like you read the comments about it afterwards.
How stupid he is. Oh, everybody says he's so dumb. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just on a genius level on that show at that level. Like just so much smarter than the person asking. So much better than the other person in the conversation. So much. Not even a similar comparison of brains whenever in a conversation with somebody. It is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And then you get a chance to talk to him. He's like really fucking intelligent, obviously, when it comes to everything. He's just a good guy.
And they're fellow journalists. You see them at the Rick Pitino press conference.
So Big Cat asked a real question, right? Big Cat asked like a real question.
Right.
And what did PFT ask? PFT asked something, didn't he?
Is it the Capitals year, I believe?
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly. Because that was right after the Louisville thing, which turns out to be prostitutes at a party. I think the FBI were wishing they would have found instead of everything else that they found about all the bullshit the NCAA's up to. But goddamn, those two brains.
His ability to be able to like twist anything to like World War II. It's the most craziest
Forget
thing.
the World War II twist. Everything you say can get twisted. Everything can be twisted into something hilarious. I took a screenshot of that Geno Smith PFT commenter exchange, and I just lost my shit.
One of his best I've seen.
Ever. And that thing got like fucking 3,000, 4,000 retweets. My picture of saying that his brain was incredible. Like people, like it's still got action. 3,900 retweets, 21,000 likes. Just me saying this dude, PFT commenter's brain is elite. Just the picture of it just went, right?
Yeah.
It more than like his actual tweets went because it doesn't, you can't, his one tweet, you can't summarize it. You have to fucking see it all work. So Geno Smith, I'm assuming was told by his peoples to become more relatable, more interactive because I've met Geno. He's a nice person to me. He was a nice person to me. Now, granted, he got punched in the locker room over a debt, I've heard, but everybody is like, Geno's a nice guy. Everybody that's met Geno's a nice guy, but he has this image that isn't a great one. And I think they're trying to get him back into play because maybe he's been working his ass off and he's an incredible quarterback now. I mean, who knows? I mean, is it 100% possible? No. He wasn't as good as Nick Foles was his first round. So all arrows are pointing to possibly no. But what if he is? What if he's worked really well? He's got a good arm and he's figured it out. They're trying to get him out there, trying to get his name out there. He played for the Giants this year. How'd he do?
He didn't play, did he?
Oh, yeah, he started over Eli those games.
That one game he did, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that team was bad. I think McAdoo, pretty horrendous. So we can't judge him by that.
No.
Because if Eli's struggling in there, everybody says Eli's a good quarterback. If he's struggling in there, you can't just expect the guy to do in there and go, well, if he's dealing with fucking bullshit. I mean, who knows? But anyways, he could be terrible. We don't know. That's what we're saying. Right? That's what we said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alas.
Good.
No disrespect.
With having said that, he tweeted 3 hours before I got a chance to take a picture of it. So this thing had been happening for a little bit. I've been studying this whole flat earth versus globe thing, and I think I may be with Kyrie on this. Before you judge, do some homework, but what do you guys think, ? Wanting to engage, wanting to have dialogue with people on Twitter, right? Let's be friendly here. Let's have a good time. PFT commenter responds 2 hours after that. So 2 hours after that tweet, still on the topic of Gino's mind, right? Because on Twitter, if you're still 2 hours later still talking about it, it's still on your mind. Good question, by the way. Good question, by the way, the whole flat earth thing. PFT responds 2 hours later, if the sun's hot, how come space is cold? Also, higher up you got in altitude, the colder it gets. So words are not spelled correctly on purpose here. But Geno Smith's like, oh, another one. Here we go. I'm all in. This is my team now. My team is this team. We're on the conspiracy theory thing. Let's go. Let's roll with it. Not knowing the Bluetooth. Sun Bluetooth, it's sun. Sun Bluetooth, it's heat to Earth. It's easy. It's Bluetooth. It's the first Bluetooth.
Yeah, you've explained it before, and people wanted me to correct you. I was like, I mean, the logic's there. It's right.
It is. Could I be wrong? Possibly, but until somebody tells me.
Doubt it.
So the sun's sending the heat?
Yeah.
So in the winter, does that mean the Bluetooth connection is weak?
No.
What does it mean?
It means the clouds.
Clouds are blocking the connection?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Outside the connection, though, and inside the house. When it's windy with your satellite at home.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a little breezy out there.
Yeah. We got to fix that.
Well, it's hurting the satellite.
The atmosphere traps the heat.
But not all the time.
Right.
Because in the winter it doesn't.
Right.
Because it's cloudy. So PFT asked Gino that, and Gino responded with LOL with the magnifying glass face, right? He's like, man, all right, we got some action here. Maybe this is something different. Let's continue to interact. PFT comes flying back at him off the top rope. I'm just saying, if your mind was truly open, you would probably overthrow it. Just from the top rope for no reason. Gino didn't expect that. Gino had no idea that was coming. That was just PFT coming off the top rope, and people say he's an idiot. You got to be kidding me.
No response to that, was there?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I'm thinking possibly, though.
I hope so.
That's a fucking incredible.
If you're Gino, do you respond?
Yeah, I think so. I think
you have to. Right?
You have to acknowledge how genius that is. Yeah. Just acknowledge it. And I sent him a text. I was like, man, that is genius shit what you just did right there. And he said something. He had another smart ass comment about him walking right into it or something. But he had a twist on the words real quick. I was like, this dude is unbelievable. Good for him.
Do you think people who don't know what he's about on Twitter, do you think they have any idea what they're walking into when they get in?
No.
The amount of when I posted that tweet, the picture of it, the amount of people that were attacking him for spelling words wrong and not capitalizing and not using commas and everything like that, or apostrophes. Those people have no idea. And if at any moment PFT wants to go at any of them, they can all get it. Yeah. They could all get it. He would find a picture of them doing something which would be supporting Hitler somehow. Somehow it would be supporting Hitler. They would have no idea. He's a genius. I'm happy they're coming out here. The Big Cat said they're going to beat us in basketball this time.
Doubtful.
I just said I don't think that's the case. I just don't think. I figured out my jumper. I feel really good about my jumper right now.
It's gotten a lot better.
Thank you, Evan. That means a lot. Yep. Evan plays basketball against me every day, and Evan just doesn't miss basketball shots. He's a very good shooter.
So Pat's starting to get his arm strength and his legs together in unison, and that's really helped the arc, and it's all going in better.
That is true, because I used to be an all-arm shooter.
Yeah, that's not good. That's going to make your shot flat, and that's why you rattle out a lot.
Yeah, so I think a lot of casual basketball people, I never played basketball, organized basketball. One summer league I did. The coach asked me to come. He ran us fucking 45 sprints in the morning. And then we had a game that night. He made me come, and I just sat the bench the whole game, didn't play. I was like, yeah, this is a no for me, dog. I think I could have been. We played intramural. We had a team in intramural that was unstoppable. So our basketball coach was very, very difficult. He was a hard-ass coach. Like Bobby Knight, hard-ass coach. Notorious hard-ass, though. But loved, just like Bob Knight, right? People loved him as a person, but if you played for him, Like, man, this is going to be hard practices every fucking day. Like, this is a thing. So there's a lot of us that were like, you know what, winter, we'll just chill here.
This is how hard ass of a coach he was. He quit coaching and became a ref to prove that he could do a better job.
Then
I love that.
This guy,
love that.
When I say this dude is a very lovable fella, I mean, he is a very lovable fella. But boy, he was on a next level Bob Knight shit during these high school. He threw a gate. We had the Richards Army. Like at one point, we were the Richards Army because he picked up a Gatorade bottle from like the other team and threw it across the entire gym, like the Bob Knight chair situation, like to mock somebody. And I was like, this fucking guy loves it. Like these are high schoolers he's talking shit to like this. But his practices were insane. So a lot of us were like, yeah, that's no for us. We're just going to, because I played soccer all year round. All my friends played soccer all year round. So we played in the winter, but we were good athletes. So we had an entire team basically of kids that were like, yeah, we're not going to go that hard in the winter because that basketball's too much. That's a bit too much. We don't love the sport enough to go that hard. So we had like this intramural league that was a very good intramural league. Like a lot of athletes played in there. And Richards was the ref the first couple of times. And I had a pretty good, I had some dope no-look passes, like dope. And then I took off from like the foul line at one point for like a finger roll, missed the finger roll. But I could have, like if I I took off from the foul, I was like running full speed. I had no control and I just jumped up. And it was like almost like a highlight finger roll, bricked it off the back of the rim for sure, all the way back. But Richards was like, I think with your athleticism, you could be like a pretty good basketball player. I was like, we play street ball up at Boyce all the time. The court's up at Boyce all the time, playing against like Pitt basketball players used to play there. And I would go up there, me and my boy Larman, we'd wear short shorts, high tops. We go in there like Billy Hoyle. And we would play up in these street courts just having a good time. And I was just athletic. I wasn't that good. And he said, like, hey, you should come play. You should come play with us this summer or whatever. I was like, maybe. And he, like, got a word to me. He's like, come on and play. I was like, all right, I'm going to go try this out. I think I would like basketball.
So you're a point guard?
I don't know what the fuck. I didn't even last long enough. But, yeah, I can pass. Okay. I can pass. But
I'm wondering about your lateral quickness, side to side.
Well, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I mean, there was an Olympic sprinter that I walked down the sideline that had a little bit of a lateral situation to get off a fucking professional athlete blocking me, hit a spin move on Cuzzo and go make a tackle. But, I mean, you could watch film or you could ask dumb questions, Foxy. I mean, that's what you could do. That was all for that.
Did the basketball coach have a Yinzer accent?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Get down the line.
Dude, he was fucking awesome.
I can only imagine.
He was an awesome dude. I don't know, like, and by the way, basically all the dudes that are teachers at our high school, not all of them, but a few of them have been lumped together in a very bad situation in Plum High School, and he was nowhere near that.
You're right.
Wasn't even friends with those guys.
You're right.
Which is good, because I wasn't friends with those guys either. None of us liked
neither.
those teachers.
Teachers were fucking the kids. You guys are looking at us, so you don't know what's going on. The teachers in our high school were fucking the kids. Yeah.
What I know about Plum right now, it's very like a lot of scandals happen.
I think that's a really, I don't know about scandals.
It's a very good observation.
But there is always something popping off with Plum. Always.
I've heard 10 stories from you guys personally, and that's hilarious.
Plum is just such an interesting place. I think there's genuinely good people there. Mm-hmm. Like genuinely good people. It's just a hilarious town. It's just like a hilarious town. That's all you can really say about it.
What are you guys, the Broncos?
Mustangs. Have some respect.
My apologies. I knew it was in the horse family.
We're the Mustangs. AEO block Broncos, though, I think. The junior high was the Broncos.
How'd you like the purple?
I enjoyed the purple. I like the purple.
It grows on you.
It did. Yeah. We got mocked for it every year.
I went to a purple high school.
Purple and gold?
Purple and black.
I like purple and black. We should have went with more black jerseys with purple on it because I think it's a good color. Mm-hmm. But obviously in high school, you get mocked for having purple a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about nowadays, though. I bet you they can't anymore. I bet you the student sections are much more quiet these days in high school than what they were.
It's a very royal color.
I bet you there isn't a lot of student section action these days.
I would guess.
I would guess that there isn't a lot.
Just a lot of rules.
Probably,
people get all pissy.
How about what's the basketball team where all the guys on the bench are doing something? Nebraska? Have you seen this bad?
Yeah.
God, I hate that.
By the way, every year this seems to happen. People act like it's a brand new thing each year, which I respect. Dan Dockich's kid, Andrew Dockich, had a good run on the Michigan bench for a while.
Yep.
You look like you hate it, Ty.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I enjoy the fact that these kids are nowhere near the court or out there hustling to get on TV. I enjoy that a lot. Those dudes are nowhere. They're 60 points away from potentially getting on the court, those kids. And the fact that they're figuring out a way to get on TV, I can respect.
Just enjoying the ride.
I appreciated it when they first did it in the tournament a couple years ago, but now everyone does it.
Yeah, but you got to now they're competing though. You got to judge now against people. Whose bench is better than whose? I mean, that's something that really I think people should be judging harder. You know what I mean?
I think there should be a scholarship for people. I think I could have been a good hype man on the bench.
Director of morale.
Yeah, I think I would have killed it.
Oh my God! And you would have been preparing for your real life job, Zito.
Yeah,
Yeah, you would have been actually preparing in college for what your job is now.
and college would have been free.
Wow. Think about that. That all came back around right
I
there.
really fucked that up.
Zito wouldn't
He
even.
was, though. He was prepared. He was the fucking director of activities on a cruise.
Yeah.
Hysterical.
That's
by the way.
true.
Hey, has anybody noticed that this thing stopped? My minute glass stopped.
What do you mean?
Just stopped.
Like the minute ran out, or I can't see. Is it broke?
It's not going down anymore.
It's not going down. I got a minute glass from an incredible company that works with us that just delivers super awesome gifts once a month. And it seems as if my new favorite thing that's out on my desk here was a magnetic minute glass. It seems as if we got a little bit of a chunk blocking the hole.
Flip it the other way.
We
See
got
if it
about
goes
20
back through.
seconds left here. We got about 20 seconds left just stuck up top. What do you do when the minute glass stops?
Flip it back. See if
We'll
break
never
up
get
the
this
jam.
minute back, though. Like, we can't just quit on it
We
now.
lost that minute a long time ago, pal.
What's going on? And we're back. And we are back. Just had to flip it over. It just got caught sideways. Sometimes, like whenever the breakfast cereals are at a buffet, and they got the little things, and you gotta push the thing back to get it to come down the little like laundry chute thing.
Yep.
And sometimes it gets bumbled up in there, and you just gotta get it unbumbled. Frosted mini wheats, by the way, that's my go-to.
Love mini wheats.
They're always good. Oh, little sandwiches.
I thought it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Well, so I'm mature now. Okay. So Cinnamon Toast Crunch is one of those things that definitely gets me going, but I can't be eating it every day. Can't be. Now that I'm older, 30 years old, I can't be eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch every day.
This is an intervention now.
But you can be eating Frosted Mini Wheats. For some reason, you're respected a lot more if you eat Frosted Mini Wheats every day from a health perspective.
So much fiber in those.
A lot of shit's been happening in my life. A lot of shits. But those mini wheats, they're like a little sandwich. Each time you take a bite. I'm a big fan of what they do to my mouth.
You ever had one of those Reese Puffs?
Yeah, the little round ones.
Yeah.
The brown and then the yellow, the yellow.
And they make the milk taste a little.
Yeah, I like Reese's too, by the way.
Oh, here's a question.
Whenever old Mr. Reese went ahead and dropped that chocolate and peanut butter together and was like, yep, he fucking hit a homer with
They
that.
don't talk about that.
So when I make
They
a bowl,
don't, do they, Tito?
when I make a bowl of ice cream, I put milk in the bowl. Do you guys do that?
Never heard of that.
I've seen it
Never in my
done.
life.
That's what I said. I'd never.
Yeah,
you
Ty
did it
never
last
heard of
night.
it.
Never in my life have I heard that. I didn't
Why?
even know that. By the way, that is not like a local thing, I don't think.
You should think about it.
It softens it, right?
Nah.
Softens it up, and then at the end you get to drink it. It's like a little milkshake.
I mean, I feel like ice cream is soft as is, though.
Now when you get it out of the freezer and it's all like hard.
Yeah, but you just go straight to the microwave with that.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He was offended.
10, 13 seconds. Go ahead and loosen her up. Let's move on about our day.
Put a little milk in there, and you put a little Hershey syrup on top of that.
I wasn't knocking it. It looked good, but
I know you weren't knocking it because I saw your eyes light up when you saw it.
Oh, you said
But-
you said the people move to the edge of their seat whenever they see the milk and the
Yeah.
ice cream.
I know poor families do it too, though, to like save ice cream for the rest of the family.
Well, they got a great fucking idea then.
See, what does that mean? What you just said? That's a Diggs comment.
He was really trying to take a shot there, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah,
right.
it was. It was like when Diggs says biscuits and gravy, which is one of the most absurd things I've ever heard in my life. By the way,
The most, maybe.
milk in the ice cream though is an interesting move. That is an interesting.
Can we go back to the chocolate and peanut butter, please?
That guy's a genius. Is he not? Or girl, sorry. That's very fucked up of me. That was that was very, very wrong of me. Mr. and Mrs. Reese's, whenever the chocolate and the peanut butter touch each other for the first time and put into his mouth, that moment of happiness and just knowing that he just changed the world forever had to be a glorious one. Not talked about enough, I don't think. Not that moment is not talked about enough.
I want to have one of those moments.
Oh, you ready for his name?
What is it?
Harry Burnett Reese. HB, they used to call him back in the day.
Where's he from?
He is from, Pennsylvania.
Hershey's is from Pennsylvania as well. We have a lot of sweet tooth shit going on in Pennsylvania. But Evan Fox, he said he wants an HB moment. You want an HB
I want to have one of
Reese
those
moment?
with like 2 different random ass foods, put them together, and then boom, $1 million.
Billion, probably.
Yeah.
You know where York County's at?
Who?
York County.
York?
Yeah.
PA?
Yeah, York, PA.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's over by Reading.
Oh, Don by the railroad.
Is it over by Reading?
It's over on the east side of the.
I have no clue about anywhere over there. Your Pittsburgh accent's not terrible. You drop in and out of a Pittsburgh and Chicago accent.
I gotta learn more words.
You think?
Yeah.
You guys want tacos?
Yeah, you do attack those words that have the A in the middle there.
Yeah, and then a lazy T, right? That's the other one.
For Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Pittsburgh accent's a good one, isn't it?
Terrible towel.
Myron Cope. Zito loves him some Myron Cope.
I think I texted you that one night, Nick, and I literally watched an hour of Myron Cope.
He's like Benny the Bull for us, though. So, like, Myron Cope was such a legend around Pittsburgh. It was just understood. In my eyes, it was understood that is how the local guy is in every city, I assumed. I was just like, oh, that's like Bob Lamy in Indianapolis is not, he is what Myron Cope's position was in Pittsburgh, but Myron Cope was just at a whole nother level. He was like the town crier for a little bit. Like, he's the guy.
Quite possibly the town drunk, too.
Yeah.
He enjoyed some booze.
Did he? I didn't know Myron
yeah.
Cope liked to throw him back.
Oh, yeah.
Couple Iron Cities, eh?
Oh, I love that.
Mike Lang, too. Big booze hound.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you hear the way he said hound, by the way, right there? Big booze hound right there, that guy. Mike Lang, Myron Cope used to throw back Iron City, booze hounding it up all night, Donner. All night. Scratch my back with a hacksaw.
Buy Sam a drink and get his dog one, too.
Pittsburgh people are ridiculous, man. Hilarious group of people. Very happy that I grew up in Pittsburgh. The personality, I think, helps out in a lot of situations. It's just this personality of like, yeah, let's just keep it fucking moving here. Like, what are we doing? That's really the Yinzer thing. Yinzers are just, they're just, let's keep it moving here. The lingo, the way people speak without opening their mouth is just something you have to respect initially. Like the Yinzer accent is just basically a refusal to open your mouth while talking.
You're not wrong, because when we started doing a lot of videos here, I would watch, like, when Booze is editing Snipe Selling and stuff. I'm like, man, I don't even open my mouth the whole way when I talk.
Yeah, you just keep it, like, me watching my dad talk whenever he would, like, get into the accent a little bit when I was a kid was one of those things I noticed the difference. I'm like, oh, he's not even moving his mouth when he's talking. he looks like one of them, he looks like a ventriloquist down there, just talking real quick, just letting these words flow together like that. We're going over to Uncle Johnny's house. We're going over to Uncle Johnny's house for Christmas. Should be a good time. What do you guys want? It was beautiful, man. Yeah, it's a funny accent. More people should respect it. More people should respect the Pittsburgh accent. I don't know why. I think it is because whenever people get big, we might have talked about this on air, I don't know, or off air. When people get big from Pittsburgh, they don't have the accent when they get big. It's like Joe
Manganiello.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Doesn't have the accent because in the movies.
Oh, wow. He's from Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Yeah, you'd never guess that.
Yes, exactly. But he's a Pittsburgh guy. Elias Sampson, who is dominating WWE right now, one of the best personalities. He's from our high school, but you don't really hear his accent much whenever he's talking.
Billy Gardell's one of the few you can kind of hear it.
Yeah.
But, like, if he does a radio interview or something, you hear it then.
But like a New York accent is like acceptable in movies. A Chicago accent is acceptable in movies, but like the Pittsburgh accent just has never made it onto the big.
They get shafted.
It's not the prettiest of accents.
It's such a hilarious lingo, though. I don't know how. It's so good. Whenever I listen to like Southern people speak, I'm like, I love that accent for sure. I like a nice Southern accent, an Australian one. But then when you go back to Pittsburgh, like I just laugh at people talking. I just laugh at people talking because like some of the local radio stations that we get a chance to go in and talk to, there's people in the radio stations who have heavy Pittsburghese accents on purpose because that's like part of their character. So like they're the Pittsburgh Sports Radio Talk, so they're going to have Like if we're talking Penguins here, like we're gonna have a guy who's heavy into it, and it's as soon as I walk in the building, I'm like, hello, and they're like, hey Pat, welcome Don, like I start dying laughing. I'm like, oh dude, I fucking love it. Good for you, man. Just crushing it.
Demi Moore and Jeff Goldblum from Pittsburgh.
I didn't know Demi Moore was.
I didn't know that either. I knew Goldblum was for sure.
I
though.
thought Christina Aguilera was. Is
Yeah,
she not?
she is.
She is? I think that was just a rumor, though, that went around high school whenever she was big.
No, she was.
Yeah, Christina Aguilera is from Pittsburgh, I guess.
Imagine her songs. What would it be if with the Yinzer accent?
I'm a genie in a bottle. Go ahead and let me out. Let me out. Imagine her singing.
They should remix that.
Our new sponsor, Ring, the video doorbell company that allows you to see and speak to anyone when they come to your door, has sent us actual footage of Ring busting crooks in the act, and this is one I had to share with you.
Hey, leave my house or I'm calling the police.
Why would you tell me that?
Because you're trying to push my door in. Leave now.
I'm about to smash what's in there.
I'm calling the police.
Okay, I am the police.
I'm about to smash what's in there. It's just my wife, sir.
Crazy. The guy runs away, but thankfully they had Ring. Can you imagine? This guy looks like he was on drugs or something. He's definitely not right in the head. And they know that something's about to go down, and they dupe him with the I am the police, and they run away? Are you kidding me? When you can see what's going on at your front door, you can really stop crime. That's pretty empowering. And with Ring floodlight and spotlight cams, you can build a ring of security around your entire property. Ring lets you protect your home no matter where you are, and you can share your clips to help your neighbors on the lookout for suspicious activity. Thieves just can't hide with Ring. Stop crime before it happens and help make your neighborhood safer with Ring. Save up to $150 on a Ring of Security kit at ring.com/McAfee. That's ring.com/MCAFEE. $150 off when you go to ring.com/McAfee. I have one of these. I got a chance to put it in my house. I love it. Whenever somebody, if it's a delivery or something, it's very simple. Bang, I can see them, I can talk to them, I can do whatever I want. It's like your home at all times. It's perfect. Ring is really changing the game. Really, really changing the game. That's ring.com/McAfee. Save $150 now. Big shout out to them. Making the world safer, making it easier to make the world safer. Good business. Good business plan.
You think that clip was from a real live situation?
Yeah, that's what they said. They said
Really?
live situation, yeah.
Wow.
I am the police. Stop what you're doing. Get to empower that a little bit there for a second. Go ahead and practice these lines, by the way. So if anything pops off, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Because confidence is big when delivering a line like, I am the police, get away. If you go in there with a cracked voice, not as powerful.
They should change it so it's like the Terminator voice.
Oh, like fucking Home Alone. It's like Home Alone with the fucking walkie,
The talkback thing.
the talkback thing. That's what it is. Ring is the modern day. It's incredible. I don't know if they're going to like that reference we just made, but I think it is. It gets the point across that your house will be safer. You'll get a chance to check it out. Ring.com/McAfee. Get $150 off on the entire thing, the entire house. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to do the entire house. Get it locked down. I have a security system now. For sure, but it doesn't have a talkback option. The talkback option is next level. I can just yell at the side of my house. I see somebody bopping around. Excuse me. Excuse me. They're going to think the voice of God just hit them, bro. They're going to hit the voice of God.
Trying to come in. I'm trying to smash.
Who are you talking to?
Catch your girl legs open, better smash that.
Sir, you are, I am the police. Sir, I am the police. Remember that. Why would you say that to me, he said. Because I am. Shout out to Ring. Ring.com/McAfee. Saving the world, Zito. All right, we had a conversation with Mike Florio earlier. This is a podcast exclusive, by the way. Podcast exclusive. We don't get to say that much anymore because, to be honest, doing 3 hours of live radio and then backing it up with this podcast is a little bit of a challenge on a daily basis. And the Sirius Connect is a good one. So it's like, man, when we record it live, it's really good. So we just want to use the best conversation because we can have conversations with people 2 times, one for Sirius, one for podcast, but I feel like the first conversation is better. And a lot of these people who are repping these people are like, well, if we get on Sirius, it's a good idea. Live radio is a lot better. And I'm like, well, I think you're wrong because the podcast, we can get deeper into shit. We can talk about good stuff. And with this Florio exclusive you're about to hear from, he started swearing. Didn't he?
He did.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have him rattled. I had him pretty comfortable. And Florio was on. He was delivering some magic in this conversation.
So much knowledge.
So much. Like, I think you're going to really enjoy this conversation, actually. I did. While being in it, I was like, okay, Florio coming out talking about Jerry Jones. What? Here it is. You're going to enjoy it. Joining us on the phone is the man who broke some pretty heavy mafioso type news yesterday on his website blog that is on top of the world. It's the blog that is read by every professional football human on earth. It wasn't always this way. He was once just a little guy in his mom's basement. Now he's a multi-million-dollar platform super genius of the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, the creator of ProFootballTalk.com, Mike Florio.
If this doesn't work out for you, you could have a great career in PR.
Well, you know what? The PR people mostly hate me in a lot of companies, though, so it's interesting that you say that. Hey,
how's it going?
Good. I got a question for you.
All right.
Let's get right to it. Yesterday, you broke some news that old Mussolini Goodell wanted to brain down sanctions to anybody that disagreed with his new contract, thus being Jerry Jones. Then you dug deep into the contract, the CBA. Notice he can only fine him $500,000 per thing. What is the story behind all of this? I love the shit that you decide to break, by the way. It could be a trade storyline. It could be a player storyline. And then now all of a sudden out of nowhere, Pro Football Talk's like, yep, old Mussolini Goodell could be fining one of the owners just out of nowhere. I enjoyed that a lot.
Well, and I got to be fair to Ken Belson of the New York Times because he actually broke the story. Even though it's got some flaws in it, the story that came from the New York Times was that Goodell is planning to fine Jerry Jones multiple millions of dollars for conduct detrimental to the league in connection with pushing back against the commissioner's contract and also things he said publicly about the suspension of Ezekiel Elliott. And I pointed out, wait a minute, the commissioner doesn't have the power to do that. He can only fine someone $500,000. And apparently, as it turns out, this isn't a fine as much as it's a requirement that Jones reimburse the NFL for legal fees that were incurred when he threatened to sue over the Roger Goodell contract. And separately, the NFL apparently has taken the position that Jones has to reimburse the NFL for all the money that was spent defending the Ezekiel Elliott suspension. Apparently, the league will say Jones did enough to be characterized as opposing the NFL's efforts in that regard, and since that lawsuit ultimately lost, now Jones has to reimburse the league. The total price, according to Ian Rappaport of NFL Media, is $2 million, which means maybe I shouldn't have gotten out of the practice of law after all, because that's a lot of legal fees to rack up for not much work.
So we got two old rich white motherfuckers battling against each other because one person is upset that the one person, conduct detrimental to the league, by the way, is the thing that Grigson used on me for everything I did. Conduct detrimental to the team, you said this. This is conduct detrimental to the team. It's like the lingo that they use whenever they can't figure out why, but it's conduct detrimental to us. That is an interesting little lingo that Roger Goodell wants to use there. And do you think he'll use this in the future for any owner or anybody that steps out of line?
Well, I think the message is if you're going to take a shot at the boss, you better not miss, right? I mean, That's what Jerry Jones tried to do. You don't wound him, you better kill him. And Jones tried, and Jones created a distraction that lasted for weeks. It made the NFL look bad. And I think the thing that really pissed them off was when he involved Papa John. When you get outsiders involved and Papa John goes on an earnings call for the company that he's no longer the CEO of, and one of the reasons he stepped down, the blowback he got from trying to blame the NFL for his own financial issues that had nothing to do with football season. The profits and the earnings dropped before September even arrived, but the belief that Jones got Papa John involved in that, taking the dirty laundry, airing it out, leaking things to the media, saying things out of line, threatening litigation at all. Look, Goodell won, and this is a product of winning. This is one of the spoils of victory. You get to exact vengeance on your foes, and this is what he's doing. And they're trying very hard to make it look like that he's reluctant to create the impression that he's seeking revenge on Jerry Jones. That's because the reality is he's seeking revenge on Jerry Jones.
Florio, you know this. Anytime you get an Italian involved, it's always going to be fucked. Like anytime, as soon as Papa John got involved and his little Italian ass, I mean, we all knew it was going downhill. Right? That's just the way it is.
You know, and he's what we Italians call a day walker. He's an Italian without an Italian name. And you can go farther in the business world when you're walking around with a name like Schnatter than a name that ends in a vowel.
Oh, my God. I met him one time at a Peyton's bowling thing before Peyton owned a bunch of Papa John's. It was like kind of like he was like Oh, what's that called whenever you're like trying to like
courting him?
Courting, yeah. Papa John was courting Peyton, so he was showing up at all these events for free, I assume. And it was back whenever he had that commercial series where somebody would be down the street and they'd be like, "Hey, Papa," and he would throw the football down the street to him. That was their entire marketing plan was, "Hey, Papa." So obviously, a little intoxicated me, whenever I see him at this bowling event from way down, I scream like, "Hey," and obnoxiously. I said it probably 5-6 times, just trying to get his attention. And at the end, I was like, "Hey, Papa." He was like, "You were the guy." I was like, "The whole time, John, that was me, Papa. I want a photo with you." He's like, "Take it quick," and like threatened me. I didn't see him again until we were at Jerry World. Whenever we lost by 50, I had an incompletion to Dewey McDonald. Perfect throw, though. Shout out Dewey McDonald. Don't worry about it. And he was in Jerry Jones's press box. So the fact that they're that tight is something that's very, very deep thinking there. And Roger Goodell could not have been happy about that.
Well, and Jones has a piece in like over 120 Papa John's franchises. So, you know, he has tried to do business with multiple different team owners. And in Texas, I guess, Jones decided this is fertile territory for Papa John's franchises, and he's got a lot of money invested in it. And they saw through it immediately. The moment Schnatter opened his mouth, they knew that Jerry Jones was behind it. And I think this just is an effort to send a message to any other owner out there. If you're going to take on the commissioner, and if you fail, there's going to be a consequence, and Jones now is going to have to deal with it. Although it apparently isn't a fine. Apparently it's reimbursement of legal fees. That's what the league is saying through its in-house reporter. But either way, it's a lot of money that Jones is going to have to pay. And even if you have billions, you still don't like to have to turn over money when you don't have to. And that's still a lot of money to hand over. And it's going to be a tax write-off and all that other stuff. But rich people don't like giving up a nickel, much less $1 million. And it's going to piss Jerry Jones off. And we'll see if that causes him to blow his top in some other way.
It's more about principle than anything else. Whenever you're that rich, giving away money to somebody else, it's like whenever you lose $20 to somebody, you don't want that person to have your $20. That's basically the big thing.
Win everything. That's right. You got that rich by winning at every possible turn, and you don't want to lose even the slightest thing, even if it's only 0.0001% of your net worth. You don't want to lose it.
Jerry Jones is very much known around Indianapolis for when the combine breaks out that the Dallas Cowboys bus goes from one end of the block to the other whenever he's going in and out of clubs. Dean Blandino has been seen coming out of these buses in Indianapolis. Are you excited for the week that is the combine? Will Roger Goodell and Jerry Jones be speaking at the combine? Do you expect to hear anything else out of them? Will you be partying with Jerry Jones? What are your plans?
I don't think Goodell shows up at the scouting combine, and Jones is one of the few owners who actually makes the trip because he's also the general manager of the team. Most of the owners don't go to Indianapolis in late February. They all get together in someplace warm in late March. So, it's all the coaches, it's all the GMs. I get the most value out of it because we set up shop in the same room where the coaches and the GMs go through and do press conferences, and we grab them for 10 or 15 minutes on camera right when they come off of that podium. So it's a great chance to just catch up with these folks. It's got a convention atmosphere to it. And, the good thing about having a show that starts at 6 a.m. Eastern every day, there is no energy, no occasion, no temptation to hang out with Jerry Jones on his party bus.
You know what? Now listen, Dean Blandino looked very happy coming out of that fucking bus. He looked very excited.
What a mess that created for him too.
Oh.
Because anytime there was a Cowboys issue, right, up until Dez caught it, I mean, that's when it all reset the other way because the thinking would have been, and I think that was that was close enough in time to the party bus that it's easy to say, wait a minute, the ruling would have been that Dez Bryant caught the football if there was any untoward activity, but it wasn't a good look for Dean Blandino, and I think he recognized it. And to his credit, he would laugh about it from time to time and poke fun at the whole situation, but that's not the kind of appearance that the NFL wants its supposedly neutral league officials to be creating.
Another Italian, by the way, just as these things are starting
and
to stack.
Not a daywalker.
No.
He got to a high level. You know what? But I think that's why he left. He knew he wasn't going to get any higher with that Italian last name. They're not going to make. Well, wait, Tagliabue was a commissioner, so never mind. But you know what? He didn't have a clearly Italian name, right?
Blandino?
It ended in O. No, Tagliabue. Tagliabue was Italian, and he made it to commissioner. So my theory is imploding right before my very eyes.
You know what? A good theory sometimes happens like that. I mean, sometimes that happens whenever you have a thought and it just blows up right in front of you. I mean, that type of thing happens all the time.
Well, I've used it as an excuse over the years for my failure to achieve higher levels of success. It's discrimination. They don't like Italians. They're prejudiced against Italians. Can you believe that?
Hey, listen, they should be. You guys killed Jesus, Florio.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, that took a sudden turn.
I'll tell you what, I grew up around too many Italians, Florio. The food's great. All of it's great. Just organized crime and Jesus. People forget that. Who are you excited to talk to this week? What is some information you think? Like, do you normally get anything out of Combine Week with these interviews or questions, or is it all just standard bullshit answers they give you?
It's all just standard bullshit answers. I mean, really.
Yep.
Now, look, there's a way to, and this is the thing, and Bill Belichick will never figure this out because he's afraid that anything he says is going to be used against him. There are ways to give people access to come off like a normal human being, to have a conversation with someone in a way that doesn't in any way threaten your strategic interests. And a lot of these guys, they'll say things. I try to get them to drop their guard a little bit. I try to get them to give me a human moment, show that they're funny, show a different side of themselves, not have it be a yuck fest. You want useful information to come out of it, but you'd like them to loosen up a little bit. And, actually, I'm looking forward to talking to the Packers GM, Brian Gutekunst, just because the Packers traditionally have told me to go screw myself anytime we've wanted access to any of their guys.
Nice.
So I don't know if this is like glasnost or what, but it's a thawing of the relations. It's maybe a dropping of the Berlin Wall, and maybe we can start, actually talking to Packers people from time to time. And of course, if I keep saying things like that, it's not going to happen. But it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see what those bastards tell me when I finally get a chance to talk to them.
Tear down that wall, Ronald Reagan. Good quote, by the way. So I hope you do that with the Packers because I'm a big fan. Aaron Rodgers and I follow each other on Twitter. So, I mean, we're pretty good friends, Mike.
They need to pay Aaron Rodgers.
I agree.
Aaron Rodgers is making $22 million a year, and Jimmy Garoppolo, with his 7 career starts, is making $27.5, and somebody's going to give Kirk Cousins 28, 29, maybe $30 million a year. And I think Aaron Rodgers is sitting back, just waiting for that phone call, because it's amazing how woefully underpaid he is right now, and the Packers are the ones who can fix it in the blink of an eye if they want to.
How about fucking Blake Bortles' deal? How do you feel about that?
Well, on the surface, when you hear that he's getting $18 million a year, it's like, holy shit, this guy doesn't deserve $18 million a year. But then you look at what everyone else is making, and he's down at the bottom of the veterans, and the only guys behind him are Tom Brady, who never wants to get anything close to market value, Andy Dalton, and all the guys who are working under the rookie contracts where they can't negotiate anything. They're just stuck with the deal that they get when they sign. And, it's not like it used to be where you'd have a rookie who's first overall pick and it's some ridiculous amount that he gets. It's all very controlled now, and all those guys are at the bottom. So Blake Bortles is behind, like, at my count, it's going to be 18 guys by the time Cousins and McCarron and Keenum sign. And it's a win-win, because look at it this way. This is what I said to people when they complained about the deal. It's like, well, okay, fine, but the Jaguars are going to have to pay a lot more money to sign one of these other guys. They're going to pay a lot more than $18 million if they sign Cousins or McCarron or Keenum, and they don't know what they're getting. And from Bortles' perspective, it's a hell of a deal, because if they had cut him, who was going to pay him $18 million a year? Who's going to pay him $17 million a year?
Cleveland.
No, I don't think they would have touched him. I really don't, because the Browns need to sign somebody where the fans say, yeah, we're happy about this. What would the fans say if they bring Blake Bortles to town? I mean, he's the guy regarded as the weak link. He's the guy that kept them from getting farther in the postseason. But they decided, let's stick with the guy we have. Let's keep these other players around him. Let's not blow out the spending curve and get ourselves in a spot where we got to cut guys or let guys walk away in free agency. And it's a short-term deal. They could draft a guy this year or next year and groom him. There's a lot of people that want to see him draft Lamar Jackson, and they still could. Put him on the bench for 2 or 3 years until you see what Bortles can do. And if Bortles doesn't become the guy that you want him to be, then you switch to whoever you would draft this year.
Blake Bortles is riding a little bit of a wave of success, by the way, with the little run they went on. If they didn't sit on that lead in New England, people forget that they could have been in the Super Bowl representing out there playing against they wouldn't have been underdogs. The whole dog bit wouldn't have worked if Philadelphia was playing Jacksonville. So I bet you Philly's happy about the whole fucking sitting on the lead, too.
What would the line have been? I hadn't thought of that. What would the line have been if it would have been Jacksonville, Philly? Philly surely would have been a favorite. So think about that. Blake Bortles versus Nick Foles for a Super Bowl championship.
It would have been 8 or 9, I bet. I bet you it would have been 8 or 9 for Philadelphia. I mean, I think that offense with Doug Peterson would have picked apart that Jacksonville defense, too. I think they would have figured it out.
And look, the Jaguars, you're right. They had their chance. And I raised the question before the AFC Championship game. Are you more comfortable with Blake Bortles having the ball in his hands and a 1-score lead late, or Bortles having the ball in his hands down a score or less? And as it turned out at the end of that game, he had it both ways. and he didn't get it done either way. And that's the key. Can you move your team when the team needs you to move the ball down the field and make things happen? And Bortles has yet to prove he can do that. He's done everything else. He's got to prove he can make the big throws in the clutch and win games. And if he can do that, then it will have been the best $54 million over 3 years the Jaguars ever spent.
I don't think that was Blake's fault. I think that was the play caller's fault, just for future reference. That's neither here nor there, but I assume if he had more confidence in Blake, they'd go for it a little bit more. All right.
And hey, Blake needs to know when to pull a Peyton Manning and tell the play caller to shove it up his ass sideways. I'm doing my own thing.
Turn that sumbitch sideways. That's a little rock reference you just had there, Florio. I wanted Andrew. I've been waiting for Andrew Luck to do that for a long time. Hopefully he can do that next year with Frank Wright in the office.
Hopefully he can play.
Dude, he's still not throwing a football yet. What the fuck is...
I'm not going to believe... everybody's saying, well, he's going to be back. I'm not believing any of that. After last year, I'm not believing anything until I see him play.
I
People
agree.
ask me, will he be ready? I don't know. You show me, and then I'll believe it. There's too much bullshit last year. This year, I want to see him play before I believe he can play.
All right, last question here before I let you go. We thank you so much for spending time with us. I obviously know you're busy flipping over mafioso bullshit with your Italian.
You're a bad influence on me. You got me saying all sorts of words that now I'm going to blurt them out tomorrow morning on my radio show and get fined.
Hey, let's get some ratings.
By the commissioner.
Let's get some ratings. You can only get fined $500,000 per, and it'll just be. Hey, so Indianapolis, this combine time is a big moment for agents and GMs to kind of mingle and deals get done. There's deals getting done before combine now, which I don't know if this is normal. Peter's going to fucking LA, all this stuff. How many do you think this is a more active environment almost in the NFL right now? And what do you think the big thing coming out of Indianapolis next week we're going to be talking about? What deal is going to get done this week?
Well, look, here's the thing. It's the deals we can't know about yet that'll happen this week, because even though they have that 48-hour period where teams can negotiate with the agents who represent the guys who are going to be free agents, and that comes up in a couple of weeks, right now, coming up this week is going to be when teams know what's out there, when players know and their agents know what's out there. And I think Drew Brees is the one to watch, because whether there's a deal or there's not a deal, I look at it this way. If we don't know by next Monday that Drew Brees and the Saints have a deal, that means that the Saints have yet to put something on the table that's gotten his attention, and maybe he's going to wait to see what's out there, or he knows there's more out there and he's waiting for the Saints to match it. And I know he's said 4 different times he's staying with the Saints. I think he's testing the Saints to see if they'll lowball him, because you can have the Saints offer $23-24 million a year. If you get the Broncos or the Vikings swoop in and say, hey, look, we'll go all in with Drew Brees for 1 or 2 years at $30 million a year, what's the gap that gets Brees to say, I'd like to stay in New Orleans, but sorry, I can't take what you're offering me because of this other stuff that's out there. And I think a week from now, if he doesn't have a deal with the Saints, we really have to take seriously the possibility that he's going to end up with someone else.
Wow. Thank you so much for that insight. Thank you so much for your brain. I'll see you here. Maybe you can get us credentialed and inside the convention center at some point, because our boss crossed Goodell as well and didn't kill him. So we've been banned, obviously.
But listen, no. You got in last year.
I did.
Now, you were still new to Barstool, and maybe they didn't connect it, but we've made the request for Friday. Remember, we got the deal on Friday. I'm going to do your show on Sirius, and you're going to do mine at 7:30 a.m.
Yep.
We got the request made. They haven't told us to shove it up our ass sideways yet, but I'll let you know as soon as they do. If they do, I don't think they will. I think you get a dispensation because you played in the NFL. I think that's the key.
Well, I did get in that Frank Reich interview, by the way, that press conference. Did you see my work in there, Mike?
That was the best moment of the press conference.
I appreciate that.
Not to mention you had jorts on.
I did not know. By the way, thanks for the fucking heads up.
You had jorts on, didn't you?
Yeah, but
didn't you have jorts?
Yeah, but thanks for the heads up. This is like the Happy Gilmore with his caddy thing. Like, you should have gave me a heads up what I was walking into. You should have been like, yo.
I'm sorry I didn't tell you. Hey, Pat, now that you're in the media, don't wear jorts to a press conference.
I had no clue what I was walking into there, Mike. People were in 3-piece suits. NFL Network was going live from there right beforehand in the whole room, Mike. And I say this in the most humble way. The entire room was just waiting for me to get that microphone. And I enjoyed Frank Reich's response. I think he's going to be a great head coach.
Well, I hope he is. I mean, the Colts have a long way to go to get back to they were a decade ago. It's not just about the quarterback. Think about all the other pieces that Bill Polian had around Peyton Manning. You were part of it. You saw the guys that were there. Right now, it's Andrew Luck if he's healthy, T.Y. Hilton, and then all due respect to the other guys, but they're not they're not of the same caliber as what the Colts had back in the days when they were contending for Super Bowl berths every year. So Chris Ballard's got his work cut out for him, but I think they're on the right track. They got a guy who wants to be there. I think they got lucky in the grand scheme of things with Josh McDaniels staying put. Reich wants to be there. Ballard wants to be there, and now they just got to build a team of guys who can do justice to the legacy of the horseshoe.
That's beautiful. I appreciate the way you worded that, too. Really made these Indianapolis fans of mine very happy, I think, with the way you did that. Florio, I appreciate your Italian ass, man. I'll see you this week.
All right, buddy. We'll see you later.
See ya. Shout out Mike Florio. What a good guy, dude. What a good guy right there. His brain just never quits, by the way. He could have went on with so much football information there that we would have, like, is he still on the phone? Hey, hang up, Mike. Jesus Christ. I'm complimenting you, Mike. If you could please hang up, that'd be great. This wouldn't be awkward.
I didn't want to hang up and give you a dial tone. I was going to set it down until I heard you drop off. I don't want it to be an awkward moment like right now.
Hey, Papa! Hang up the phone. I appreciate you, Mike. That was awesome. Zito, I bet you had 400 questions in here.
Yeah, it was really hard. I was trying to say a lot. I was going to speak in there, but I didn't know if I should or not.
What was the one thing that you didn't hear from Mike Florio right there that you wish you would have heard?
I wanted to ask him if he'd show up to a press conference with jorts. And you come in with suit. And that would be like
with a cutoff and everything like that?
He would be top of the news everywhere.
You're right. If he walked in there with jorts and a cutoff fucking hoodie, Mike Florio?
I wanted to ask him if he thought if the Pens did enough at the deadline.
He's a big Penguins fan. I should have asked him about that, but it's Combine week. That's on me. I missed that. Because Don Jones down Blawnox.
You'll learn. You'll get it.
Calling the Pens in 6. Book it. They're not even in a series yet. Pens in 6, he says. Good video. All right. Well, that's the show for today. We appreciate you so much for listening. Big shout out to Mike Florio for being absolutely incredible. What a good guy, dude. What a good guy. He wanted me to be the co-host of his show, basically. That pro football talk show in the morning they do.
Really?
Like on NBC. Yeah, he wanted it to be me. He asked me to come in and do a few days. I think he put in a request for me to do it. So NBC asked me to come do it, I think via his request. And then we both knew it wasn't for me. I mean, it was like real tight, like block scheduling, like block show. You got to talk about this, and this. You got this much time to talk about it. And we both just knew it's not my style of show. I was getting yelled at by the director in the ear every single time I opened my mouth. But I like Mike Florio a lot. I think he's one of those guys who's incredibly successful as well.
He changed the game
Changed
for bloggers.
The whole fucking game. Now, speaking of changing the game, there's one company that is completely changing the health commitment game, Zito. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
The fact is, taking care of your health is a commitment, and that can feel overwhelming. That's why I've been loving Omax 3 Ultra Pure supplements, because with Omax 3, you just need to do one little thing to experience big health benefits. You don't even have to think about it. Here on the Pat McAfee Show, we often discuss ways to be healthier and happier, don't we?
All the time.
It's kind of our thing. It's kind of our thing.
Oh, yeah.
Health and fitness.
Health and fitness and happiness. So, of course, when tons of studies have shown that something improves your health, we've got to talk about it. You've probably heard about the many benefits of getting in your daily dose of omega-3s. So now I want to tell you about the purest way to get them with Omax 3 Ultra Pure. Because if you're going to do something, why not do it right? Omax 3 Ultra Pure is the purest omega-3 supplement on the market, containing nearly 94% high-quality omega-3s. They are incredible, and I've been using them recently, and they've been making my joints feel good. I'm a 240-pound man. Okay? It's a big boy. Big boy.
A lot of torque you put on your body.
A lot of torque. Every day.
A lot of explosiveness.
Every day is an explosion fest for me. You know, every day. I'm jumping out of the gym every day. I'm doing all these things. I can't help it.
And you're 30 now.
And I'm 30 now.
These joints wear down.
These joints wear down. And everybody knows that omega-3s have been the thing to make my joints feel better. This past week, Foxy, haven't I just been jumping around like a goddamn gazelle?
Everywhere. We're just trying to find a gym you can jump in, but we can't find a goddamn gym.
We can't find a goddamn gym. Good call there, Evangelist, right there.
Yep.
Saving that. Omega-3s are amazing at alleviating joint pain and muscle soreness and make you feel your best post-workout. They can also improve focus and memory, boost cardiovascular health, and more. It just makes sense to take a daily omega-3 supplement. You've probably seen some of these supplements at the store, but many of the top sellers simply don't contain enough omega-3s to give you any results. Omax 3 Ultra Pure is almost 94% pure omega-3 fatty acids. It's the purest concentration on the market. We like that shit pure, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Don't cut it down.
It's a name brand.
Huh? You see that? Is that a text message?
No, my thing's on Do Not Disturb, and it's just I don't know.
You know what this music is doing right now? It's making the energy so good. And there's only one other way to make the energy of your body feel better, and that's omega-3s. They even have this cool thing they do called the Freezer Test Challenge. Basically, if you freeze any other omega-3 supplement, it'll get cloudy. That's all the filler. That's all the bullshit. That's not what you're looking for. But an Omax 3 soft gel remains clear. It's that pure, Zito. It's pure. Pure, Zito.
Pure as it could be.
I don't want you to think that I'm looking at you to talk about the pureness of a product because you're Cuban. Okay? I don't want you to think that. I am just looking at you because I am so mystified by how pure these Omax 3 Ultra Pures are. It's not about how Omax 3 looks when it's frozen. It's about how it makes you feel. So if you got to try it for yourself, Omax 3 comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have plenty of time to try it and really feel the Omax difference. Your body's going to feel better. Your body's going to be better. Go to tryomax.com/McAfee today to get a box of Omax 3 Ultra Pure for free. That's tryomax.com/MCAFEE to get your free box of Omax 3. Tryomax.com/McAfee. Terms and conditions definitely apply. Remember that. But, I mean, they're giving you a bottle of Feel Good. If you just go to tryomax.com/McAfee, you should give it a shot. You might not be like a professional athlete, an ex-athlete, or anything like that, but as you get older, your bones start to wear and tear a little bit. Go ahead and let these omega-3s go ahead and alleviate some of your stress in your joints, make your body feel better. I've really loved it. Now, companies send us stuff to try. Sometimes other people in the office take it and try it for themselves, so I can't actually talk about it. But like sometimes some things get sent. It changes my life completely. And these Omax 3 Ultra Pures are one of those things.
This has been helping me for my training.
Yes, for the 5K for 5K, your body's been feeling better, looking better. You give in to temptation a little bit, but I think the Omax 3s have been helping you a lot.
A lot.
Omax 3 Ultra Pure, shout out to you guys. Big thanks. All right. Well, that's the show. From myself, at Nick Morado, at Ty Schmidt, at Evan Foxy, at Viva Lazito, RIP to Diggs and Sean. RIP Diggs and Sean.
Rest in peace.
Just a one-day break. Just a one-day break. Let's get you guys away from each other for a little bit. And for myself, thanks for fucking with us. Hashtag Endgang, hashtag Endgame. Send me, Sean, and Diggs a picture of a hug of some sort. A group hug. We appreciate you all so much for listening. This is the Pat McAfee Show.